About 4 o'clock this morning, Optus services went down, mobile and internet across Australia. 10 million Australians impacted. 400,000 of them were businesses and, of course, Melbourne's entire metro rail network. From around 1 o'clock today, this afternoon, services started to return. Less than an hour ago, Optus have announced that all services have been restored. They say there's no indication at this time that a cyber attack is to blame. The Labor Minister, Michelle Rowland, who I said has, I think, handled things very well today, said that her understanding is that this is a deep fault or a fault deep in the core, which basically encompasses everything from routing to electronics. What does it actually mean? Joining me, someone who knows, Stephen Fenech, the editor of the Tech Guide, who joins us now. Help us understand, how did this happen, Stephen? We've seen the impact. I mean, it's shut down everything right down to retail. My husband, who loves to carry cash, he's been proven right today. He's been like a pig in mud. But how did this happen? Do we really know that cyber was not the cause?
Good evening, Peter. No, we don't know. Optus hasn't come out and told us. Their silence is deafening again today. You think after the breach last year, they would have learned to get out in front of this and really sort of keep us informed. But the fact that it was referred to as a deep fault within the network, I think that's their way of saying that it wasn't a cyber attack, that it was an internal issue. No, they haven't told us what it is. I'm hearing from various sources that it could have been a routing issue, could have been a power outage at a particular part of the network, might have been a software update gone wrong. They're not telling us what it is. So until they do, there's all this speculation that's going to fill that void. So it has affected, as you said, so many people, and not just people who are wanting to look at YouTube today. This was all about businesses not being able to make money. The day after an interest rate rise, you think that businesses would want to be keeping that money coming in the front door, and other services affected too. You mentioned the rail networks. The Commonwealth Bank couldn't send net codes for people to send payments over the system as well. So it affected everyone far and wide.
And also too, people with landlines, Optus landlines, could not call 000, could they?
That's right, no, because the landlines are now supplied through the NBN and Optus resell that service, so they weren't able to ring 000 from the landline, but they were able to ring through their mobile device because they do have what they call a camping situation where other networks are available to you if you do need to ring 000 in an emergency. But it's still inconvenient for anyone. The fact you couldn't make a call that you just take for granted of making or connecting to the internet. You remember a lot of people now working from home, working on the move, they were unable to do their jobs today. So that's just everyone affected, that they're feeling how connected we are, and when that connection's missing, just what a massive impact it has on our society.
Look, I might digress on this point though. When I was the Chief of Staff to the Communications Minister in the Howard government, I asked that question about landlines when we moved to the NBN, and I was always told that you would still be able to call 000. I never thought that was the case. Tech people like you told me that would be a problem. It could be a risk. I think we've been proven right today.
Yep.
Talk to me about compensation.
Well, there was the outage today.
That lost money today. Will they get compensation?
Well, I think that they deserve it, certainly. I think that there were businesses who had to turn away sales because they weren't able to process payments. I heard cases of customers writing IOUs on pieces of paper to say they were going to pay them back when the network's back up. So as long as it's all documented and it can be shown that the network outage has affected them financially, which it has, then Optus should certainly compensate them because they charge them their monthly bill for their services. So the businesses who have suffered as a result of this outage certainly should have some sort of recourse.
ACMA, which is the media authority for people at home, ACMA says if you've an affected customer, please make a formal complaint. I've got to say, you know, you made the point at the top, we haven't really heard from Optus management. The CEO, like she did last year, has basically got her head under a doona. Surely questions have got to be asked about the CEO and management across the board. I mean, this is a massive reputational hit. There'll be customer churn out of this, surely.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. I heard stories of people lining up outside other telcos to change to another network. I even received a press release from Vodafone illustrating the fact how easy it is to switch to Vodafone just by activating the eSIM inside your phone. You don't even need the actual plastic SIM card. So this is really going to impact Optus. The fact that they didn't come out in front of this and really inform their customers, keep us updated, that's going to have a massive impact. I think I heard from more people today who were talking about leaving Optus than I did actually during the data breach, because the data breach, while it was shocking, it didn't cost people a lot of money at the end of the day. It just caused concern. Whereas today we're seeing that businesses have lost tens of thousands, if not millions of dollars across the country, and there's something, there has to be some sort of compensation or something has to be said about it. There needs to be sort of a procedure in place where if something like this happens, you need to get out in front of it, talk about it. Telstra have had outages in the past, and within 90 minutes they were out there talking about what the issue is, what the issue actually was, so the actual fault that they found, and then compensated their customers with data-free days and things like that. So this isn't the first time this has happened, but it could have been handled a lot better.
And the CEO's got to go, though. I mean, that's the point. The CEO's got to go.
Well, I don't know how many strikes you get, but this is the second time. You'd think after the breach, the Crisis Management 101, they could have written a book about that from the last occasion. This time you think that once bitten, twice shy, they would have got out and spoken about it and been visible about it. I think that would have given customers a bit more peace of mind, knowing that the CEO is saying, OK, I understand. Saying sorry is one thing, but telling people, giving them updates and keeping them informed, that's a totally other thing as well. And sadly, we haven't had that today.
Stephen Fenech, thank you. I have to say it's a textbook case of not what to do, but what not to do in the cases of crisis comms. It's shocking. I do think she has to go.